Hi guys, this is Race Hit on Ways and over there. This will be what deku has the Omnitrix Part 3. Where that left off, Ben gave his son his own version of the Omnitrix. Ben tells Deku he'll be training him for 9 months and he'll be sending him to the best school, to UA. Deku said, "Are you sure about that?" Ben tells him yes. "I'll be training you, then when I'm done, I'll be leaving." Deku asks his father, "Wait, where are you going?" Ben tells him, "I'll be working outside of Japan for a while." Deku asks his father multiple questions during where are you going, how long you gonna be there, and if so, can I join you? Ben tells him, "I'm going to the US. I don't know how long I'm gonna be there, and no, you cannot join me. You're not a hero yet." Deku tells him, "But Dad, what if I get hurt?" Ben looks at Deku and says, "You have the most powerful watch in all the galaxies." Deku tells him, "But still, what if I get hurt, and what if somebody knows how to deactivate my watch?" Ben tells him, "If someone tries to destroy you and the watch, it will teleport you where I am, okay?" Ben tells him, "By the way, that watch is not easy to hack. So whoever's going to deal with it, they're going to have to deal with me when I realize you're getting hacked." Deku asks his father, "But how do you know, though, if you're going to be in the US? Ben tells him, "Ask me to put in a signal, so when it goes off, it'll let me know, so I can come over there, or I can make you come to me." Deku continues talking to his father, saying, "Dad, when I saw you through one of your pictures, I said you had a green and white watch. I have to ask, how come you give me that one instead?" Ben told his son, "Before I gave it to that person, you were still too young, and Asma didn't know who to give it to. So we went through the options, and we gave it to that. Then we gave the watch to that person." Deku asks, "Who could that person be? Is it Auntie Gwen?" Ben tells her, "No, it's not her. But I will give you a hint. It is a girl." Deku continued to ask, saying, "Does a girl know how to use a watch?" Ben tells him, "Yes, I trained her." Deku says, "Okay, where is she?" Ben tells Deku that she's on Earth. Deku asks, how many times has she left Earth? He tells her a couple of times, but she's not fond of it. Deku asks his father, "Is she human?" Ben tells her, yes, she is. Deku tells her, how many times has she been using the watch? Ben tells her not that much. Deku asks her, is she a hero? If so, what's her hero name? Ben tells her she doesn't have her hero name, but she does have her hero license, though. Deku asks, wait a minute, if she has a watch, how come she's not a hero then? Ben tells him, well, it's because she has another important job. Deku says, okay, but still, how come she's not a hero? Ben tells him, saying that she will, she's not ready yet. Deku wants to ask another question, but Ben says, please, enough with the questions. And before you ask, yes, she does know about you. Yes, she knows that me and Admin made your watch. Deku asks Ben, how old is she? Ben tells him, you asked too many questions. That's enough for today. Ben tells Zuko that this girl will keep her identity a secret until she's ready. So don't try to find her and don't try to rush her. Deku tells him, okay, I'll stop asking about who has her old watch. But, can you tell me how to use this one? What button do I press? Ben walks over to his son and says, do you see the green button on the side of it? Just press that and turn the dial. After that, just push it down. Deku asks, okay, so about your other watches, they had different features on it. So what does this one have? Ben tells him that watch has all the features of my other watches put together. Ben tells him if anyone tries to take the Omnitrix off of you or cut off your arm, it will send an electrical feedback to push them back if they try to pull it off. If they try to cut your arm off, the Omnitrix will transform you into an alien that can handle it. When Asmus came to Earth, he saw how different the humans were. And so when he decided to come to make the new Omnitrix, he started adding a new feature into it. Deku says a new feature, is it called something weird like the data dump? Ben tells them, no, you already have that feature. That feature gives you the information about the alien when you transform into them. Ben tells his son, well, we don't know what to call that new feature, but we already know that it works. Deku says, okay, so can you tell me how this feature works? Ben continues with, do you know that it is possible that we can use somebody else's quirk if we scan our DNA? Deku says, wait a minute, we can? Ben continues with, yes, since their quirks changes their DNA from regular human, that means that we can use their quirks. That's why the new feature works on that. Specifically, that's what we gave to you. So basically, if you're fighting someone with a quirk you don't know, you can scan them and they can tell you what quirk they have and show you what alien doesn't work against them and highly works against them. Now, if you guys are wondering what I mean, just think of it as an RPG where about getting information about someone and seeing what they can and can't do. Deku wonders and asks, so if I use their quirk, will I transform into them? Ben will say no, you'll just be able to use their quirk. Deku will say, so their DNA is that different from us, huh? Ben will tell him, yep. Ben gives Deku a notebook of all the features that the Omnitrix can do. After that, he begins to scan through some of them until he sees one will say ultimate. Deku looks at Father and says, wait a minute, what is this ultimate feature? Ben tells Deku to pick a random alien. Deku scans through it and picks one. After Deku transforms, Ben tells Wild Mutt, interesting choice, but okay. Okay, do you see the dial on you? Turn it again, then press on it one more time. After Deku does what Father told him to do, he transformed one more time. Deku asks, wait a minute, so how does this feature work? Ben tells him, well, you have to look at the Panther, but let's just say that they go through a simulation. Deku will say, this feature is really cool. Ben will say, yeah, it is. I recommend you don't spam it that much because we don't know what will happen if you do so. Deku will say, what do you mean? Ben tell him, well, just don't spam it that much. Use it on rare occasions. Deku, in a worried tone, will ask, what will happen to me if I do so? Ben will say, you don't want to know, so just don't use it that much. Ben will tell his son that the Omnitrix will notify me, you, and the other user that you're using that ultimate form too much. Deku will say, wait a minute, is this just a tactic to scare me to not use it too much? Ben will say, I'll train you tomorrow. Deku will say, am I right? And Ben will just walk out the room. Deku will transform back into base, basically looking at the watch saying, okay, ultimate rare occasion, got it. Tomorrow, Deku's training will begin. Ben will be training Deku for a total of 10 months until a UA exam comes. In base, Ben trains Deku in weapons and hand-to-hand combat. With transformation, he basically shows him how to use them in combination. For the remaining months Deku has left, he asks his father, do you have this feature too? And does the other person have it as well? Ben says, which one? The one that gathers information? Yes, we have that. Ben asks his father, so is this feature useful outside of battle? Ben tells his son, yes. For instance, once I used this on someone that was poisoned. And so I scanned them and see where the poison came from. See if it came from an alien or someone with a quirk. Deku asks, what's the difference between an alien and someone with a quirk? Ben tells him, well, there's a slight trace of human DNA. Yes, and you're also able to use this to track someone down if they leave some evidence behind. Ben tells his son, well, even though we have this interesting feature, you only have that feature when you fight someone. Until you get older or when you become a full hero, I'll unlock the full thing for you. Deku looks at his father and says, wait a minute, the feature's not fully unlocked? Why not? Ben tells him, well, think of it as your training wheel, and plus, I want you to try to figure it out on your own. Deku asks, what do you need to figure it out on my own? Ben tells him, well, you have to use your brain outside of fighting when you're a hero. You have to look around and do some detective work. Yeah, I've been doing that, and it has been quite useful. Yeah, on some occasions, I'll be able to solve someone's plan without even trying to fight them. Deku looks at his father and says, well, yeah, you had a couple of smart aliens backing you up. Ben looks at his son and tells him, I've been able to do this in base form without my watch. Before Deku can say anything else, Ben adds on, even though I was actually a year older than you, I was still able to do all of that. Ben continues to train Deku how to fight with some aliens, but also teaching him how to avoid attacks while the watch is timed out. Ben has a week left. He tells him, well, I guess it's time to go. Before I leave, let me do one more thing. He begins to touch Deku's watch. The watch dial begins to spin and it says Master Control. Deku asks, what does that mean? That means you can transform between aliens without transforming into base. Deku looks at his father and says, whoa, that's cool. But wait a minute. If you're going to give me Master Control, why would you train me in my base? Ben tells him, well, that's one of the reasons why I told you not to spam the ultimate form. Because that form will time you out, regardless if you have Master Control. Deku looks at his father and says, well, this ultimate feature can transform back into base regardless if I have Master Control on. So, if so, how long do I have before it times me out? Ben tells his son, well, The ultimate form, you'll last in it for a total of 10 minutes. Deku will look at his father and say, okay, so let's just say that I timed out. How long would it take for the watch to time back in? Ben walked closer to his son and says, 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out, that's all. Deku looks at father and says, wait a minute, so if I timed out, I have to wait another 10 minutes for me to transform into another alien. Ben tells him, yes, but you can also, when you're getting closer to your 10-minute mark, you can transform back into your regular alien. That way you won't have to time out, but I wouldn't recommend doing it too much, because if you do so, it will time you out regardless. Ben tells his son, alright, I think it's enough for today. Ben looks at his son and tells him, alright, but there is one thing you must know. Do not get attached to one of your aliens. All your aliens that you have, no matter what. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this point, and remember, for the new feature that I gave Deku's Omnitrix, you give me a name for that new feature, alright? Next up, reincarnation.